Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, The Beyond from 1981. It's directed by Lucio Fulci and stars Catriona MacColl and David Warbeck. Here it is, our first Lucio Fulci movie, and like I said at the end of the last review, it also happens to be my favorite Lucio Fulci film. This is also the third of the Italian Big Three that we've talked about, the other two being extensively on Mario Bava, and briefly, so far, on Dario Argento. But worry not, as there are still plenty of films that give me a chance to talk more about all three. Now to make a horrible admission. This film, narratively, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If I had to put together the story, it would be that the artist Schweik's body is crucified in the beginning in the basement of the hotel that is one of the 7 gateways to hell. And 50-something years in the future, when his body is removed from the basement, the gate starts to open. That's a very broad stroke, but it does help contextualize the majority of this film, which has a lot of other individual working parts. This is one of the films in Fulci's Gates of Hell trilogy that also included his films The House by the Cemetery and City of the Living Dead, both of which also feature actress Catriona MacColl. The entire trilogy is great, but this is the clear winner. Fulci, in my eyes, was kind of treated like a gun for hire, and so when he made this film, the German producers demanded it have a zombie sequence in it because, at the time, zombie films were doing big bucks in German theaters. So even though it's kind of shoehorned in and helps make this film make even less narrative sense than it already did, there is a zombie sequence that feels very superfluous towards the end in the hospital where David Warbeck's Dr. John works. And then after the zombie sequence is done, we return to the basement of the hotel again, where the superfluous zombie sequence more or less started to begin with. But this is a film that is definitely a sum of its parts kind of production, as the whole thing might not feel cohesive, but the individual parts are very cool. There's a death by tarantula scene, there's a crucifixion done correctly with the nails being hammered into the wrists and not the hands, and of course, Fulci's favorite, multiple shots of eyeball trauma. There are also plenty of extreme close-ups on characters looking through the camera lens, which is a trademark of Fulci's, but I'm running out of time, so we'll talk more about Fulci in an upcoming review. For now, just know that if you like horror, then this film should be on your radar for sure. Which is why I'm giving The Beyond an A, removing some points because it's a narrative mess, but adding all the other points because it is awesome. Tomorrow we stay in the very same hotel location with another Italian horror film, Beyond Darkness. See y'all then.